Hi everybody, it is Tuesday, November 5th. I am running a little late this morning. I apologize for our lunch with Lori date. Today it's election day and my husband and I went to vote and we were literally in and out in 20 minutes. And I was in line for a shorter amount of time than I was actually filling out the ballot because there's all those little judge things that say, should we keep them? And my philosophy is, if they haven't done anything bad and been in the news, probably they're not so bad. So anyway, I am back for lunch with Lori. Last week we didn't have lunch, our lunchtime class, and so I'm excited about that. If you missed all of my 31 projects in 31 days, please be sure to check those out. I did do a couple of similar projects to what I'm going to do today, but I used the Sentimental Wishes bundle in this suite, which is what I'm going to use in my card club this month. I have a card class on Tuesday, November 19th, and that's our in-person, and then I do it to go or shipped. So the one thing that's super exciting about the Sentimental Wishes, well, I'm not going to say exciting. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know, because, that's been the story of my life with this catalog. But the designer series paper has grown on me a lot. And so we are using that for my class this month. My ladies last month voted, and so they chose Sentimental Wishes. But the beauty of the paper is not just that it's pretty. It's the fact that for $3 out of every pack of the paper that's sold, Stampin' Up! Is donating $3 for children's literacy. So every pack that gets sold, no matter how many, they will donate $3 per pack. So we are using that. We are helping charity. Another reason I was running a little behind today was that the UPS man brought 6 boxes, no lie, and they're still on my porch. But I got excited, and I'm going to take a picture of the 6 boxes. 6 large boxes of card kits, and I am doing a fundraiser for a local organization called Youth in Need for Christmas gifts, and with the donations that I've received plus my percentage plus some free ones because I did it as a workshop, there are 58 kits sitting on my front porch right now that we can donate to kids. So I'm super excited about that, and I'm still not done. So if you would like information, I'm going to post that as well on how to do that. All right, let me get it switched around here, and we will make some Sentimental Wishes Christmas cards today. There we go. Okay, today's one of those days here in St. Louis. It is rainy. It is gross. I'm feeling a little blah today. And when we saw that the line for voting was literally 11 people, because we can see that online. My husband was like, let's go. And I was like, wow. So anyway, here we are. All right, we're using Sentimental Wishes, which reminds me of, font from when I was a kid. Hi, Monica. Thanks for joining me today. Sorry I was a little late. All right, Sentimental Wishes. It has a beautiful stocking. I'm not actually going to color any of the things today, but for my card class, we will be doing a coloring project. All right, and then the dies. Cute little package. It's a half package. Cuts the stocking from the designer series paper as well as the stamped one. This one cuts the holly leaves, then just a little extra sprig, and then the candles. So this has been super popular, and a lot of my ladies really love this. The paper is beautiful as well. We're using the stocking today, and so I have already die cut 2 of the stockings to use. One I use for my sample, and then the other one is for the card we're making. That's the pattern on the back. We are going to use some vintage looking candy canes, and then this one has a bouquet of greenery with ribbons. Just some pretty trees. I had a hard time figuring out which color that was. I think it is actually pretty peacock. It is not shaded spruce. And then the ribbon, and I'm sure most of you, when you were kids, if you're at least, a little older like I am, your grandparents probably had some of that candy on their coffee table at Christmas time. This is a partial piece with a beautiful background. Great for stamping directly on if you want to make your card front. And then the pretty candles. And then we are going to use the snowflakes today. I'm going to use the snowflakes And then the back is the reindeer. I'm going to show you a card with that one as well. It's a repeat from my 31 days. I'm going to show it in case you didn't see it. And then we've got the Christmas trees with the candles. How vintage is that? And then the stripe, diagonal stripe. Okay, let's get going. Let's make some cards. Hopefully I have everything on my table because I was grabbing and running. And I'm going to start simple. I'm going to start with the pretty tree paper. And we're going to hopefully get it right. All right, so I've got a pretty peacock card base. So we're gonna go pretty peacock. Hi Pam, I love that paper too now that my ladies have convinced me that it's good to use. I just had to work with it a little bit. So I've already cut the designer series paper. I'm gonna go ahead and attach that to my panel. My pretty peacock panel. And then attach that. Okay. And then we have, I went ahead and I embossed a background with the Snowy Sky embossing folder. I do love that. And I was going to use just plain white, and I thought, no, let's bump it up just a little bit. So I'm going to jazz it up. You could always use a plain background. You could use a pattern background. We probably could have used the Christmas tree embossing folder as well, but for today, I'm just using the snowflakes. I'm channeling snow instead of rain. I'm pretty sure that we've had, I don't know, 4 to 6 inches. It is hard to decide sometimes, and I hate it when they put, I say hate, I hate it when they put beautiful patterns on both sides and make me decide. It's kind of a sad thing. All right, so this piece is going to go on with dimensionals. So we've had, I don't know, anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain at our house in the last 48 hours, and our pool is about to overflow. We have an ugly little pond behind the pool that's a little, it used to be a fountain, and the fountain is long gone, and the pond is about to overflow as well. And it's, I don't even know, it didn't have any water in it to begin with, and it's probably 2 feet deep. So the water keeps just running in there. So anyway, if we'd had snow, it would be so pretty right now, but it's rain and it's so gross. So there's my complaint for today. All right, so I'm going to put this panel on. We are super simple for this one today. I'm going to stamp my words. We're going to do wishing you joy and happiness, and hopefully I can get it right. When they cut my stamps, they were a little off. Sometimes that happens. The easiest thing to do is probably for me to just trim that extra rubber off so I know where the words start, but I didn't do that. Actually, I think somebody else put this one together for me. So I'm gonna hope for my best. I used a die cut from the Unbounded Love bundle. I thought that was a good one. It fit perfectly. So we're gonna hope for the best. Wait, okay. I gotta go up a little higher than what I think. Okay. All right, and it's crooked, so let's try the second one. If this one doesn't work, we're gonna go with it. It's because I can't see the letters, so, okay. Makes me nervous. Okay. If it doesn't work, y'all can just think that I was standing on my head. And that one goes up too. All right, I think, maybe nobody will notice if I do it on the back. Okay, so the moral of the story is, look at it. I'm looking at it. Okay. I told my husband I was more of a hot mess today than usual, and I think this is proving it. All right, so my college roommate, you say good enough for who it's for. We'll send this one to somebody who won't care. All right, so we've got wishing you joy and happiness. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of that as well. Goodness gracious. I'm just going to put 3 across, right in the middle. Okay, now the other exciting thing for today is that the new online exclusives are live. So you can order some beautiful things, and one of those is the twisted gold twisted thread, and it's so pretty, and I thought it would go perfectly, just a little swoosh behind my sentiment piece. It doesn't have to be quite that big. Just a little swoosh. Cut that off. And then I'm going tape it on the back. Probably right about there. Need my tape. I have several cards with this suite, and I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to use for my card club for class this month. But I can guarantee that we will use as much of this pretty paper as we possibly can. All right, so now I've got my sentiment on there, and then my other favorite thing from the suite is the Drucy embellishments, which are give it some shine. Let's move my paper up just a little bit. Drucy embellishments. There are clear and there are gold. I think I'm going to use, I used the gold on the other one, so let's go ahead and use the gold. And put one, fill in the space that I didn't do correctly. It's not that I didn't do it correctly, it's just my stamp was messed up, right? And there we go. There we have our joy and happiness. Okay, so that is card number 1. Brand new twisted gold thread, which I love, and it goes with the Valentine's suite. Valentine's, actually I can show you that at the end as well. Those went live today as well. There's a Valentine's suite on the online exclusives, and there will not be a Valentine's suite in the spring mini catalog that comes out. So just keep that in mind if you are a Valentine card maker, so that you know that there won't be a suite. All right, so the second card, we're going to use the candy cane paper, and I've cut a circle with the spotlight on nature, and you should probably know that's one of my favorite things in the whole catalog in the whole world. Now, I also die cut, and I showed you the blank over here, but I die cut the stocking right out of the paper. And so I did 2 of those, one for my sample, one for this one. So let's get this one put together. I used the stripe. You could also use this one if you wanted to tie in that greenery, but I really like that candy cane stripe. So I'm a sucker for stripes, polka dots, plaids, anything that's just a pattern all the time. Okay. Get that put on there, and then we can put that on our card front. Did just a tiny little red border because I thought I didn't want it to be huge and red, and I'll put that on our card front. Oh, we gotta fold our card first. That would be helpful. Okay. So many exciting things coming up. The holiday season, I love all the card projects. I have several classes. I have an email going out hopefully this afternoon on all of my upcoming classes so that everybody can mark their calendars, because November and December will be super fun. All right, so I have my Spotlight on Nature circle, and we are going to use the Let's Celebrate the Season stamp, and I'm going to use Shaded Spruce ink for that, because there is some shaded spruce there on that stocking. That one is the same. That one's a little better. The cut was a little bit better. And it doesn't, it's a circle, so it doesn't necessarily, we can turn it if we need to make it straight. It's the beauty of stamping on circles. Maybe I learned a lesson there. Okay, got our Let's Celebrate the Season, and then we can go ahead and put our stocking on. We only want to make sure we only put the adhesive on the one. Actually, it's going to be most of the whole thing. So we can go ahead with our adhesive, put it on there. All right, it is November the 5th. We have taken down, the Halloween trees are down, and it is almost game time for the Christmas trees. That's another thing on our agenda coming up. So by the weekend, everything Christmas will be up at the Bradley's house, because Matt and Katie are both off school and work on Thursday and Friday. And so we are going to get on it. That'll be very exciting. Okay, so look forward to that. I'm going to take my Shaded Spruce ribbon, which is also part of the suite, trim that. And I'm not going to tie a bow. I'm just going to make another squiggle. So it's going to be like a a back and forth like this. And I'm going to tape that right onto the back of our sentiment piece. But I'm going to put some adhesive across here just to make it a little easier. I was going to color some ribbon. I decided I was going to color some ribbon. I got out some white ribbon. I had my Pretty Peacock blends, and all I'm going to say is that I decided against it. You can see my thumb. It's very pretty. And I decided that you all did not need to see that kind of mess. So, all right, so there's my little swoosh. I just went back and forth, back and forth. Now that I have it on there, I am going to use a piece of tape just to hold that to secure it on there. And then we'll use some dimensionals to pop that up on our card front. I'm having a struggle day of staying awake because it's so dreary today. Oh, I'm going to put one over here on my stocking just to make sure it stays up. Okay. All right, if you're watching, did you vote? Have you voted yet? I don't like politics. Maybe it's not that I don't like politics, it's the fact that I don't like how people act about politics. How about that? So I don't really like it when people start talking politics. Yeah, I just don't like it. Okay. So I've got my sentiment with my stocking, my cute little stocking. Trim that off so that it doesn't hang off my card, and then let's embellish it. And so, so no matter how you vote, it's none of my business actually. And so I just want to make sure that you vote and you exercise your right to do that, because you can't complain next week if you about somebody, your guy didn't get elected, but if you didn't vote, it doesn't matter. All right. Yay for you, Pam. Good job. We voted, like I said this morning, we went yesterday, and there were 14 locations here in St. Louis County open early to vote. And we went yesterday, and 2 of them we could not even get in the parking lot. So we were like, well, we'll just wait and go tomorrow. And because it was pouring down rain. And no kidding, we looked on the thing this morning, and the one closest to us said it had 11 people in line. So let's go here. So we decided to go at 11 people, and we were in and out in 20 minutes. It was very exciting. All right, card number 2. All right, card number 3 is a little bit of a technique, and I've used this paper. I used this in my 31 days projects a couple of weeks ago, but I used the paper. So we're going to use the snowflake paper, and we're going to do, you may have seen the faux shutter card. I've seen it called, what else have I seen it called? The faux shutter is what I've mostly seen it. Okay, now I'm going to start with, I'm going to set these aside. I've got those ready. Get everything ready. Okay, I have cut a square using the Stylish Shapes dies. Okay, just a square, nothing super exciting, just a stitch square. I'm going to use pecan pie ink, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I'm going to use Have a Merry Christmas right in the middle of this, but I'm going to do it so that it goes across the diamond. And you may have seen cards like this. I've done it, I'm trying to think. We did it at Christmas a couple of years ago. And we used a couple of different, no, we used the same pattern. And then I did it once with 2 different papers. All right, so that's the center. There we go. We're gonna leave that. I'm gonna cover up my ink pad. Oh, over an hour. I saw someone who said they were in line yesterday for an hour and 45 minutes, and I thought, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so we have our center. Now, we're going to place this on the card. Now, on my sample, I put it right in the middle. I'm just going to give you a little flash there. Okay. Now, I'm going to move it this time. I'm going to put it over a little bit. I'll move it over to the right, just a little bit. There's no right or wrong. You can put it wherever you want. So that's the first piece. You're going to put your focal point, your sentiment, your whatever you have, you're gonna put that first. Let's go down a little bit. Okay, now I have cut some metallic copper. We've used this before, strips, okay? I have cut that. So I'm gonna start, and it's hard to know how long to put the glue onto the back of the piece. So I'm gonna be very careful, and I'm gonna start right here along one side. And I'm just gonna put a very thin line of glue, straight as I can, all the way up, like that. Then I'm gonna sit that's the longest one. That made me a little nervous actually. I'm gonna put that right at the corner, go right along that square, and go all the way to the outside. Now I'm gonna leave it, but we're gonna trim it at the end, okay? So I'm gonna turn it, and then I'm gonna go to the next piece right here. I'm gonna go there. So we're gonna do the same thing all the way around this square. You could do it with one color, or you could do it with two. I've seen red and green. Obviously red and green would not be very good with this one. But white, I could add a white one on the outside, I guess. I did 1/4-inch strips. Actually, I am gonna trim these. So we're just gonna trim that like that. Turn it over, trim it right along the edge of our card. This one I'm gonna trim only because I'm gonna go ahead and use these pieces. This one's too short, so that one won't work, but this one will. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on here, saving my paper, or my fancy copper paper. So we're gonna put our glue right along here. You could put this on the back of the strip, which would probably be easier, but then you just don't know how long that needs to be. Like on how far along on your paper you need glue. Okay, so then we've got that one. I'll wait to trim that. I had a scrap, so I have a little bit of a cutout there. Here, I'll do this one on the back just so you can see. I'm gonna start, and I can always add a little more glue if I need to, but you can kind of eyeball it how long your glue runner needs to be there. Put it right up against that one. And there you have a fancy faux shutter. That looks like this. All right, but we're not done. We're not done. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put this onto our white panel. I wanted a little bit of a break between the snowflake piece with the pecan pie and the crumb cake base. So just a tiny little white border. You could use a bigger one if you wanted. There you go. And then we're going to put that on our card front. And I have a snowflake to put on, an extra little snowflake. Oh, I have to cut another piece because I cut that piece wrong and I forgot to cut an extra. Give me 1 second. All right. Don't have shoes on so you can't hear me running across the wood floor. Okay. Gonna cut my trimmer, RC6. Luckily everything is pretty close by, and I cut the piece wrong this morning and I realized it and I fixed one side and not the other. All right. Whew. Okay, so we'll cut the sheet in half. We'll fold it in half. Okay, then we'll attach it. Ooh, goodness. I'm just blaming it on the weather. How's that? The weather's fault. All right, I have cut actually I've got a couple of snowflakes. The other one I had a white one, so I think I might still go with the white one just as an addition. My mistake here was that I did not use adhesive sheets. This is a snowflake die from the One of a Kind bundle. It's a snowflake bundle. And I should have put adhesive sheet on the back so I didn't have to fiddle with the glue to put it on. So I'm just going to dot for tiny drops, if it'll cooperate, there we go, around the outside edges. And if I had adhesive sheet, we would not be doing this. All right, just put it on the big pieces. And I think I'm going to put it up in this side this time. I'm not sure. I put one down here earlier on the other one. I probably could use a couple. So I'm just going to put it in the biggest space. That's what I'll do. I'm going to overlap it just a little bit. There we go. And then let's come in and put some sparkle, because we do love some sparkle on our holiday cards. Okay, I'm going to put a big ol', no, not, I thought I would, but I'm not. Let me think about this for a second. Where do you think I should put them? I'm going to put a small one right in the middle of my snowflake, because snowflakes need to sparkle. And then put one there, and then one up here. All right, and there you have it. Very Merry Christmas with a faux shutter with that beautiful textured metallic copper paper. We have a die cut stocking from the bundle with the striped paper and the ribbon and the Drucy embellishments. And then I brought in the trees with the new twisted gold thread as an addition. That's a new online exclusive. I did not use glimmer paper for this snowflake. It is just plain white. I have some copper snowflakes laying here too. I could always add, I was trying to decide, but then when it went over, I was afraid that it wouldn't show up. But I could still put a copper snowflake on here as well. But I did not use glimmer paper. I just used plain old white. But you know what would be pretty? If I used my Wink of Stella pen and I added some shimmer to the snowflake, that would make it stand out a little bit more. So, all right, so there we have those 3 cards. And then last week, I'm just gonna pull this out just so you can see an extra card. The die cut with the deckled circles, the little reindeer. I did pull this from the Nests of Winter paper, just a little strip, but there's that one. And then this one, Let's Celebrate the Season with the ribbon. They kind of got a little smooshed, but I pulled those out of the box this morning with the fun fold. And then there was one more snowflake card. My other snowflake card, here it is. This one I did use the copper for the snowflake, and I used copper sequins. So anyway, this is a fabulous, sweet, so look for the information for that class coming out soon, and it can be in person or to go. Online exclusives are available now. Be sure to check those out, and I will look forward to seeing you all next week. I would love to think I can do some lives in between here and there. We'll see how this week goes, since I have people at home. But if so, I'll do a quick live and say hello, and if not, I will see you next Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. for Lunch with Lori. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great day.